Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I am joined by the real Sully G, or just Sully G, or Sully, you know. Today we are going to be doing a pro gamer interview with the man, the myth, and the legend. For those of you who don't know this awesome dude, he can say some things to introduce himself.
I specifically said in the stipulations to doing this interview, he has to introduce me as this awesome man, and I only do pro gamer interviews. But yes, you might know me from my Otamatone content and, branching out and doing more unpopular stuff on other channels. But, I'm the Otamatone guy. That's what you know me as, and I accept that.
Yeah. Side note, but I personally consider myself the Sully G of MSM, My Sing Monsters. Um,
Oh wow, that's something that I've somehow created my own, title. Like I am the real Sully G of this. Like I mean, hey, I'll take that. I'll shoehorn my name into anything to get that free promotion.
yep. I mean, promotion's nice, but like, yeah, I just personally, I find myself doing like similar things to you, similar things that you do, but with like my own stuff. In this case, MSM. Because mostly what I'm known for is like covering memes and songs with MSM and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. So
Well, then get ready because you are now stuck with it for another 6 years at least. So strap in because it's a wild ride.
Yep, I'm prepared, I think. We'll see though.
Nothing can ever prepare you for that, but
Oh
you
well,
know.
we'll just see what happens and go
We'll see
from
what
there.
happens. That's you play it day by day, and.
Yep. All right. I guess we should just get on with the interview questions and stuff.
Let's
Yeah.
do this. Let's get the hard hitting questions. Let's see if you can get me canceled within this interview.
Okay, first question. How long have you been like musically active and like doing music and stuff?
That's a good question. Musically active, I have been ever since my channel started. My first experimentation really with music, like making music or composing music, was for the Real Sully G YouTube channel. So that would have been back in like I think 2015 into 2016, around that time.
Nice.
I don't have any classical musical training in any sense. I dabbled a bit in drumming growing up, but I mean, again, never took a lesson. I just kind of played around on the
Yeah.
drums. And so, I've never considered myself a musician, although I technically am now a musician. I still, you know, don't really know how to play that many instruments. I can fiddle my way enough around a keyboard and a piano to demo out songs and create these songs that I'm making. But I'm in no way a professional when it comes to any sort of music or instrument. Even the automaton, I wouldn't consider myself a professional. Uh, but so I've been, so what is it? We're going into 2023 now, so that would have been like, if we're saying beginning of 2016, 8, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 20, is that like 7 years?
Wow.
That's
Wow.
that's a long time.
Yeah.
I'm 25 years old, and so that's a significant portion of my life I've spent on YouTube. But yeah, music was never something I saw myself going into professionally. It was just something that I kind of started to fiddle around with and was having fun with, and I was like, I'll upload this to YouTube. 5 people will see it. I did not know I was kind of locking myself into a career down the line, but hey, I'm enjoying it, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how a lot of people get into YouTube. They're basically just like, ooh, I'm doing this thing. I'm gonna upload it to YouTube and just because I can and it's something I can do. They do that.
And that is the only reason I think people should upload videos to YouTube, and I truly stand by that. I
Yeah.
you should never go into YouTube saying, I'm making videos because I want this to be a career and I want to become famous. Those are the wrong reasons to get into YouTube. You want to start a YouTube channel because you are passionate about the content you create and you
Yeah,
want to share it with the world, and that is it. If you go
exactly.
in with any expectations that you deserve anything in return for making this content, you are going to have a bad time.
Yep. Like you can't really go in. I mean, I was gonna say this is kind of like any job, but not, well, technically not really, but like you can't really go into YouTube being like, all right, I'm gonna make $100 a week or something. I don't know. Like you can't,
Yeah, no.
like that's not a good way to go into it. Like
It's a weird job to have because there's no, there's no salary that you're given. You're not given a any salary. So I mean, you could be a giant creator and still barely make ends meet because it all depends on the video, how each video does, the ad revenue, stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, to go in to YouTube being like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to make a living wage off of these videos. Like that's not the way to go about it. I
no,
never pictured myself actually doing YouTube full time. Obviously, it's always in the back of your mind. I'm not going to say that's a bad thing to think like I would love to do this full time, but to go in with the expectation that that is the only reason I'm doing it and I deserve the viewership, the money, the
yeah,
subscriber. Like you know, you do not deserve anything as a creator. So it is an extreme privilege, to have this platform, to have an audience of any size, and so I truly think YouTubers are deserving of nothing in return and should be ever grateful for every view, every subscriber,
yeah,
and everything that they are given on this wonderful platform.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I completely agree. Honestly, like it's nice to see numbers go up, but like if you're just in it for the numbers and not for the journey, then
Oh yeah, I
probably
mean, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm like not bummed out when a video does poorly and I'm not like on top of the world when a video does great. Like that
yeah,
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But those aren't the reasons you get into it. Obviously, I feel it's a bit different now because because this is my job, I kind of have to look at this like a business. And so, you're making business moves. And so if a video does
yeah,
well, it's like, okay, this is good for the business. And if it doesn't do well, it's like, well, this is not good for the business. So, my mindset has changed a bit because again, I still don't feel like I deserve anything, but I feel the pressure to reach certain thresholds in order to sustain this thing I have, either on my end to sustain it financially or to sustain the expectations that the audience have in terms of quality of content, the number of videos uploaded and stuff like that. So it's a balancing act that I'm
yeah,
not going to say I've mastered it yet, but I'm trying my best.
yeah. It's just one long journey of figuring things out and trying to find what
Yep.
works, basically.
I guarantee by the end of my YouTube journey, I still will not have figured everything out, and that's okay. I'm learning every day,
Yeah,
trying to improve every day, and I'm fully accepting that I'm never going to be that perfect creator and have everything figured out. But if I
yeah,
can make some people happy along the way, then I think the journey will have been worth it.
yeah. Well said. Yeah. All right. Second question. Do you have any musical inspirations, like artist or like anything like that?
Yeah, you know, I will say I'm not like as diverse when it comes to like music that I listen to. I've always just kind of throughout my life, I find a couple of artists, a couple of groups, and really stick to those groups. And so, I'm not one of those people that I'm just like, I have 500 artists that I love, and I have a couple of artists that I really, really am passionate about. And so I would say my biggest inspiration, both I would say music influence and comedic influences, Weird Al Yankovic. It's a
Yes.
silly answer, but I have been a fan of his since I was, in elementary school,
Well, yeah.
and still a fan at 25 years old. I just saw him in concert 4 times this past tour.
Well,
I've met him a couple times over the years. He's just always been a very big influence to me. Still an influence me to this day. I get a lot of comments on the Sully channel saying, "Are you Weird Al's long lost son?" Now I think that's partially because I do kind of look like an 80s version of Weird Al with the
yeah.
glasses and the mustache and the long hair. But
Yeah.
some people are also saying, "Oh, you're the comedic, like the tax write off song, like that feels very Weird Al esque." And so, I take that as a compliment because
Yeah.
he is really the one musical artist that I can constantly look up to. And there are other artists out there that I've loved. Walk Off the Earth is one that they are
Ooh,
really
yeah.
out there. They'll do really fun, creative, interesting stuff, like using things that shouldn't be used as musical instruments as musical instruments. And I've kind of
Yeah.
had to embrace that as using an automaton as a real musical instrument over the past 6 years. So
Yeah.
they've always been a group I've looked up to as really pushing the limits of what can be considered music and just kind of trying their hands at so many different styles and so many different genres. So I would say those two combined really encapsulate what my musical output in the world has been so far.
Yeah. That's awesome. Um, I guess this feels off topic, but since we you did bring up Weird Al,
Hey, I'm
I
I'm all for off topic. I am one giant just like train of thought going everywhere. So absolutely off topic. Let's go for it.
yeah, I can totally relate with that. But well, just to start off, I as well, I really do enjoy Weird Al and his parodies and whatever music he makes. They're all just a joy to listen to on repeat.
Mhm.
But I remember seeing a Twitter post, who knows how long ago, you made. I think it was. I don't want to say it's Photoshop because I'd like to believe it's real. I don't know if it is. But I remember seeing a Twitter thing you posted. Like a few months ago. I don't know. I totally forget the caption it had, but it was a photo of you and Weird Al, uh, on like a blue screen. I don't know.
Oh, I think it was saying like to everyone like everyone says I look like Weird Al, but we look nothing alike, and we're
Oh yeah.
doing basically the same exact facial expression and pose.
Oh yeah.
In that I'm happy to say that is not Photoshop. That was the most recent time I've met him. That was back
Oh.
in May, I believe. So
Mm,
no, that is not Photoshop. That is actually a real picture. I have a handful of photos with him over the years, dating back to like 2011.
nice.
So you get to see Sully grow up in these photos, but that was the most recent one, and yes, that is not Photoshop. That is 100% real. I have the autograph in my room to prove
Mm,
it, but yeah, that's
nice.
that's a real picture. It's a very funny picture.
Nice. But like I remember seeing that. I'm like, yo, I gotta add on to this. So
Yes, myth debunked. That is a real photo, ladies and gentlemen.
yay, we love real photos. Uh, but I remember seeing that and I was like, I'm gonna put on my Hawaiian shirt. I'm gonna take a photo of myself and then Photoshop myself into that image.
Yeah.
So I did
See, and that
because
that that would be the easy way to do it, but no, the hard way to do it is to spend a ridiculous amount of money on a VIP package and get that photo taken.
yeah. But I just saw that image and I was like, hey, I have long hair. I feel like I could probably pull it off. I could pull off the trend of long curly haired dudes taking a photo with
Y-
each other.
Yeah, and then you'll take a photo and people will be like, "Are you trying to cosplay as Weird Al or are you trying to cosplay as that washed up YouTuber?" And you'll be like, "No, no, 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 I'm trying to do Weird Al." They're like, "Oh, okay, that's acceptable."
Why not both?
Why not both?
yeah. All right. Um. All right. Yeah. Let's do the next question.
Next question.
All right. What got you into into automatones and when did you get into them?
Good question. Um, I mean, to say I purposefully gotten into Otamatones would be a straight out lie. Um, it was winter break, my freshman year of college. So that would have been January 2017. I came across a Reddit post that it was just on the front page of Reddit, a couple pages deep. Um, just someone playing an automaton. I could find the exact video. I mean, it probably been reposted a bunch of times. It wasn't anything special. It made me laugh, and at that time I was kind of new into YouTube. I think I probably had like what, 100 subscribers or something. I mean, I'm sure I
Yeah.
could find the exact number, but um, and at the time, YouTube didn't have any like thresholds for monetization, so I was monetized at that point, even though I wasn't getting any views.
Mm.
And so the videos I was putting out at the time, I was getting, like I made 2 cents off of a video, which at the time was wild to me. I'm like, that's real currency
Yeah.
that I'm making off of this video that I've just put out into the internet. And like that blew my mind. And so I made the verbal goal. I said it around my parents because I was home for winter break, and I was like, when I get my first check from YouTube, I'm going to buy this silly toy and make a video with it. And now YouTube does not pay you unless you reach a certain threshold. So I don't know what the exact threshold is, whether it's $100 or $200, but
Yeah,
you're
for me
like
it's
you're
$100.
your
So
money has to build up in your account before they pay anything out. So again, I was making maybe a penny to 2 pennies per video. So that was never going to happen. And my mom, God bless her soul, knew that was never going to happen. And so when I went back to college for the spring semester, it was Valentine's Day, around mid February,
yeah.
whenever that lands. She, always sends me cards and stuff like that just to, get me through the dreary days of college. And she sent a package, and it was an automaton because
Yo.
she's like, I remember you talking about it. I wrote it down and I bought you this automaton. And it was hilarious. I loved it. So I, over the next couple nights, kind of tossed around a couple video ideas, tested out a couple video ideas. There was one video that was I shot and edited, and I did it within a night. It was not that complicated, but I'm like, that doesn't really work. And I eventually landed on doing an Automatone cover of the Aha song "Take on Me."
Yo.
I think, from start to finish, I probably started working on it like right after I ate dinner. So it was like 6 p.m. or something like that.
Mhm.
And I think it was uploaded to YouTube by like, by midnight, let's just say. So I did not put much thought or much effort into the video. Uh, and then I put it out onto my YouTube channel, and surprise, surprise, it didn't do, well. I mean, it was just I had 100 subscribers. It's not like a video is just going to blow up. And
Yeah.
so someone posted my take on me video in the comments of a Reddit post that was on the front page,
Oh.
and said, "Oh, this is my favorite video using this kid's toy." And so it got this influx of views. I mean, it got like to 14,000 views, which at the time
Oh
was
damn.
absolutely bonkers, insane.
Yeah.
And it kept growing. I guess it kind of like people were seeing it on Reddit, and so it was getting this big jump of views, and it was kind of hitting the algorithm a bit. It got to like 50,000 views or something like that, and eventually 100,000. And so I'm like, this is obviously, like just this little spark of people are interested in it, and it's about to fizzle out. So I need to jump on this as fast as possible and make one more video. And
Yeah.
so the video I ultimately ended up making that I consider like the sequel to that was I did Through the Fire and Flames,
Yo.
using the automaton, recorded one note at a time. Uh, I posted that in uh, May. It was right after I got out of college my freshman year, and that did well too. And I was just like, all right, I think I have one more idea in me. So I started working on Bohemian Rhapsody, which was going to be this big project that I ended up working all summer long on because I was working a real job six
Cool.
days a week at the time, and so I only had like maybe an hour a night to work on it before I went to bed and woke up the next morning to go to my job. And so that spent all summer, and in the meantime, I kind of made smaller videos. I made harder, better, faster, stronger, and I think I made Fireflies around the same time.
Mhm.
And then I released Bohemian Rhapsody, and all those videos continued to do well, and that led me into my sophomore year of college, where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to ride this wave for as long as I can. And I fully expected that wave to be a month to maybe like, if I'm lucky, to the end of 2017. So we're talking like December 2017.
Dang.
Uh, Here we are, December 2022, and somehow I have not escaped the hell that is Otamatones. But yeah, it was a complete accident that this became a career
Yeah.
path for me. How long will it be a career path for me? I don't know. I don't know. I can never say. I thought it was going to end in 2017. Then I thought it was going to end in 2018. That every year I think it's going to end, and it hasn't yet, but it will someday. That is a definite. Like, that's not me just speculating. It's going to end eventually, as does everything. I
Dang.
just don't I just don't know when. So I will continue to ride this wave as long as possible. People can accuse me of milking it, which, I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah. I guess I am milking it. I'm fine with that. But yes, as long as some people are enjoying it, I will continue to do it. And once the entire internet turns on me and says we no longer like automatones, I will lay off.
Oh, dang. Yeah, that's pretty insightful. That's cool to kind of just hear, I mean, somewhat summarized version of the rise of Sully, or you could say.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not good at summaries. I end up just talking and talking, and this interview is going to end up being 2 hours long because I don't know how to shut my mouth.
No, it's completely fine. I mean, I don't care. I mean, people will watch it, you know?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
apologize to your audience. You skip forward. He'll If there's something interesting that happens, he'll put a timestamp in the description that says, "If you don't want to hear Sully gab on and on about useless stuff, skip to this part where things get really interesting."
we'll see. uh, oh yeah, but I did enjoy hearing that. It was actually like like I said, it was insightful to just kind of.
Hey, that's my whole thing on YouTube. If one person is interested in what I have to say or what I have to do, I will continue to do it. So hey,
Yeah.
if you thought it was insightful, I count that as a win. I can go to bed tonight saying, "Hey, one person thought what I had to say was good."
Yeah. I feel like it's nice to know about the content creators you know and watch and stuff. It's kind
Hmm.
of nice to get to know more info about them because to the audience, I know it feels like you're able to get closer to them as like a fan of theirs. So I feel like I guess hearing something like that, like your story to fame of like automatones and stuff, it's kind of it to some viewers, I guess I'd be one of them.
It's
It's
humanizing.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
like I'm just a dude that got incredibly lucky. I'm just like you, except I got incredibly lucky.
Yeah.
That's literally the only difference.
Yeah. It's probably why streams exist because it feels like since they're there live and stuff, it's kind of like I can say things to them and they'll actually react real time and stuff. So maybe that's
Yeah,
why streams exist. So,
yeah.
all right. Next question. How long did it take to master the automaton, and what advice would you give to people who are trying to learn to play it?
All right, so I have been doing it for, let's see, so that was 2017, 2018, 2019, 2022, going on 6 years. Um I have been playing the Otamatone, and to master it, I say it will have taken me 10 years.
Wow.
I do not consider myself a master at the Otamatone. I have always been a person who is interested in video editing. That is what got me into content creation. I liked editing videos. This whole music thing, it was kind of just like a happy little accident that got kind of like looped into it. So, I don't spend every day practicing playing the automaton. I don't spend hours a day focusing on trying to be the best automaton player because I know I don't have to play it in a live setting. I can record take after take after take about, small sections and just record until I get it right and use that take in that section to make up a pleasant sounding experience because the thing that I like doing the most is video editing. And so often, I am editing a video for however long it takes, for a cover like 2 weeks, and I will record the automaton music within the last 12 hours before the video is uploaded. That is like I will often save that for last because it's just like I know I can I can get through it really quick, but the thing I'm passionate about and the thing I want to focus on the most is the editing, the video editing. And so, I will never consider myself an automaton master. I am sure there are plenty of people out there who are better at it than me. I'm sure I could improve more and more every day if I really worked towards it. But that has never been my goal. Now, if some company tries to sign me and says you have to go on tour now, then maybe I'll sit down and spend some time to really get good. But until then, I am happy being a mediocre automaton player who has a skill in video editing and you know composing, I guess, on the side. But so I mean, I've always said my tip for people who want to play the automaton is have fun. This instrument has never been meant to be taken seriously, and I think as soon as you start really taking it seriously, it kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yeah,
So if you're looking to play the automaton, just have fun. That's what it's all about. Having fun, you know, playing some music. If you want technical help like that, I mean, there's always you can kind of get a guitar tuner and then take a dry erase marker and draw little lines on the side of your automaton that mark where the note placement is. I've never ended up doing that. I've just kind of, you just eventually start memorizing the placement of your fingers where they have to go to hit the proper notes or hit approximately the proper notes. But there's technical things like that you can do to help you. You can, some automatones you can use an app to like use auto tune on it to maybe if you hit it the right keys, like it makes it a little easier, I guess, maybe.
yeah,
But it's not a perfect instrument in terms of like playability. I don't think it was ever invented to be a super consistent instrument. Every automaton you buy has a slightly different pitch range, which means switching between different automatones to play makes it very difficult because you have to learn you know the range and octave range of each and every automaton you have. I have,
yeah.
four automaton technos, and each one has a different range. And, I have however many, like 30 regular automatones, and each one has a different range. And it's not just like a fun feature, that's just, how they're made. They're toys, really, when it comes down to it. So
Yeah.
they don't need to have a specific like set range, and so they don't. And so they're each one's made a little different just as a manufacturing, I don't know if I would call it defect, but just that is a result of how they are made. So just have fun. Just have fun with it. If you want to play the automaton, play the automaton. Start with a small one. Start with the cheaper ones. Work your way up. If you really like your smaller automatones, you can then work your way up to the automaton deluxe or the automaton techno and stuff like that. But just have fun with it. I think that's really what everything should be about. It's just having fun.
Yeah, yeah, that's well, yeah, that's well said. I own an automaton mostly because of like, hey, this Sully dude has fun with these, or like maybe I should try it. So I got one like what, a year or two ago. I barely touch it because I never really took the time to like learn the note placements I have a really
Yeah.
basic one, but it's just fun to be like, hey, I have this thing that makes noise. But yeah,
Yeah, and I think it's a fun novelty gift, a fun toy, and there are a handful of people in this world who take it very seriously, and I guess I am unfortunately one of them.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, on the topic of like having multiple different automatones, I guess this is kind of a good transition into the next question I have written down. But what would you say is your favorite automaton that you own, and why would that be your favorite?
Um, the easy answer for me is, and I should say this in a general sense because, like I've mentioned, I have a couple automaton technos. But I will lump it into a singularity and say the automaton techno is the favorite automaton of all the ones I own. It is I don't think they make it anymore. They
Oh wow.
might not. I maybe they do, but they don't sell it in the US. I'm not 100% sure. But it's one step above the Automaton Deluxe. It is the same size, but it has a couple different features, and the main feature to me is the line out feature in the back. For the deluxes, if you plug it into the headphone jack in the back, it still plays out of the automaton as
Mm,
well as playing out the auxiliary out.
yeah.
With the techno, it only plays through the auxiliary out if you have it plugged in, which is very important for me when I'm recording my music through an auxiliary cord into my laptop. So I've always found that it sounds a lot better in its output than the deluxe, and it's just a little more consistent. But again, that's for someone who has to play the automaton, like every week, it's my job, so I have to have like a high end automaton, so to speak. So,
Yeah.
does anyone need the automaton techno? Probably not. That's probably why they don't make it anymore, is because no one really needed $100 automaton. Uh, but but I did, and I have multiple of them, and I will continue to buy those until they stop selling them to me and I don't have a career anymore. Like
Yeah.
if I have to hit up my Wodenki and be like, yo, do you have any leftover stock of these technos? I will, because that is the automaton I swear by when it comes to recording my music. Every video since Jurassic Park, which would have been 2018, every video since then has been recorded using an automaton techno.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
that's my favorite automaton of my collection of too many.
Speaking of random question, but how much do you think you've spent on automaton and automaton related items?
A good question, and I wish I had an answer. Um, I'll say a handful of my automatones have been given to me. Like the fine people over at Hami, who are the U.S. distributor of the automaton. Whenever they release a new one nowadays, they're very kind to give me one of them. They've given me, you know, the three automaton crystals and the Sanrio characters, which was like Hello Kitty. No, actually, I bought Hello Kitty. That was like Gudetama and then Agretzko, those two Agretzkos, and then they
Yeah.
sent me the giant Gudetama recently. They offered to send me a Hatsune Miku one a while back, but I had already bought one because I'm impatient. So as soon as the pre-sale went up, I had already ordered one, so that was too late. So I have spent a good amount of money on automatones because the technos aren't cheap, and I have like four of them. Um, the jumbo accounts for most of it, I would guarantee, because the jumbo cost a little over 3,000, I
Oh
think.
my.
And so I would say that makes up for most of the price. When I say like I spent $4,000 on automatones, and it's like, yeah, but one of them cost over $3,000, so it's a little misleading. But I've never actually sat down to calculate it. I'm sure I could. I'd have to look back and see, what the prices are, and I've bought a bunch of them like secondhand, rare automatones, like the Waha Go models. I have two of each
Ooh.
of those, and I've had to buy them for expensive because they're rare. I have a couple of the digitals, which are also rare, which means I spent a fair amount of money on them. So I would say, including the jumbo, somewhere in the range of like $4,000.
Wow, yeah, that's not cheap for sure.
It's
But
it's not it's not, and it's really stupid when I say it out loud like that. I have spent $4,000 on children's toys. Thank you very much.
I mean, that's one way to put it.
As one that is it's I'm putting it bluntly. That is when without sugarcoating it, that is exactly how I have spent my money.
Next question I have written down is, what is your favorite song, and meme, I guess, Otamatone cover that you've done?
So if we're talking automaton covers, because over the past year, 2 years, over the past 2 years, the channel has changed in that there are two categories, or technically three. I mean, there's automaton covers, there's automaton shorts, which are memes,
Yeah,
and then there's Sully makes poor financial decisions type stuff.
yeah,
But if we're talking automaton covers, my go-to answer, and I doubt this will ever change. My favorite video I made was the 100th automaton cover. It was
oh
a
yeah,
real passion project, trying to find a way to string together every of the 100 songs in order. So, there's no like, I can't pick and choose. These two songs go well together. It's like, nope, those are the order I covered them in. Those are the orders they have to be played in. So, to create this big 10-minute medley and then to, tie in all the visuals and kind of get a shot at recreating some old effects that I did, 4 years ago. It was fun. I mean, I haven't watched it in a while, but at the time at least I was very, very happy with the final product, how that came out. Um Automatone shorts, as the creator of them, and I bet a lot of viewers would agree, I think they're generally forgettable. They're funny to watch, but
yeah,
it's not something people return to. It's like a ha, he covered that, cool. I don't watch it
yeah,
again. Music, people rewatch to listen to music. The memes, not so much.
yeah,
So having said that, I have made a lot of Otamatone shorts, and I don't remember all of them. The first one that pops to mind is the Grubhub ad, because that
oh yeah,
was, you know, is my most successful video. Was my most successful video. I don't know. I haven't kept track. Maybe there's something that has passed it by now. But that video was my first video to ever get to trending,
oh
and that was a real turning point for my channel. Like, it had stagnated a lot, and that was beginning of 2021, I believe, and all of a sudden the channel was revitalized. There was new life in the channel. So that video holds a special place in my heart. And then, yeah. Yeah, those are my two favorite videos of those two categories. But if I had to pick one video to represent my entire channel, I would say the 100th cover is probably the best the best representation of the content I've made.
yeah, yeah. I can't say I remember it like super well, but I do remember like kind of watching the 100 um covers thing. I don't even know the name, but like I
Yeah, I don't even it's had multiple names. I think the official name of it, like as it is now on YouTube, is like Mega Meme Medley or something like that. But it was the 100th Automaton cover, and it was a medley of every single song I had ever covered up to that point, strung together. And I think it's a really poignant video. I think it's a nice video. I think it was a nice kind of like end to an era
yeah.
type video. So I'm proud of that one.
Yeah. Also, something I literally just remembered, which is quite literally a fun fact.
Ooh.
If I am remembering, I'm pretty positive this is true, but I believe one of your videos contains my most liked comment ever with
Ooh.
12,000 likes, I think, on the Newt Newt
Really?
one. Like,
Wow. What
yeah.
do you know which video it was?
Oh yeah, the Pingu one, the Newt Newt.
Oh, the Newt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Again, I don't I again, these are forgettable videos. So like, I
Yeah.
forget I make these videos until someone points them out. It's like, "Oh yeah, I did do that, didn't I?"
Yeah.
Yes, that was a fun one. That one did pretty well, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
So,
kind of blew
You
up.
always love when a video does well, and
Yeah,
I'm glad that it holds a special place in your heart, having that most liked comment. That's awesome.
yeah. I don't even remember what my second most liked one is, but I don't think it came anywhere close. I know it was in the thousands, but I don't think it was in the 10,000s. So yeah,
Yeah, that's impressive. 12,000 is nothing to frown upon. That's a lot of likes.
yeah, most certainly. All right. All right. Next question. What got you? I forget if you already covered this, but I'm gonna ask anyways. But
All right.
what got you into content creation on YouTube?
Hey, I don't think I technically covered this yet. I have made videos for as long as I can remember. I have made videos. I used to make videos on my mom's old camcorder, and when I say camcorder, I mean like, little video cassette tapes that, you could play back at the camcorder. You could, you know, reel back like an hour and a half of footage before you had to buy a new tape and use that. So that's how I made my videos back when I was really little. Eventually, I upgraded to like a digital camera when I was, like 10 or something like that, And throughout my years of school, that was something I was kind of known for. I'm not going to say I was a popular kid in school, if it wasn't obvious.
Yeah.
But that was kind of one thing I was known for. Especially when it came to like projects. If you were in my class and we were grouped into groups that you have to do a video project, then people wanted to be my best friend. Because they knew, all right, he does video stuff. He knows his way around video stuff, and also, uh, I like controlling a lot of the aspects of those kind of projects, so I feel like I probably did a lot of the work for them. So it was probably really easy A for them. Um,
Yeah.
but so I've been making videos for as long as I remember. I remember I started uploading my videos to Facebook, just so my friends could see them. My
Nice.
parents would not let me do YouTube because they kind of wanted to protect me from negative comments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
uh Eventually, I think I was probably in middle school. I started uploading to a YouTube channel, which this YouTube channel still exists. The videos are still out there, but I have never publicly revealed what that YouTube channel is. It has
Oh,
a whopping, I believe, 17 subscribers.
wow.
But good luck finding it. Um, but anyway, I was like uploading videos there, and I remember uploading a video that was just like I uploaded. I think it was like a drum cover or something like that,
Yo.
and it got immediately a negative comment or something, and I just disabled comments because I'm like, I can't handle the criticism. Um, and so I kind of strayed away from YouTube after that. Not because of the criticism, but just naturally, I kind of strayed away from uploading my content in general. But I started to do that again, like late into my senior year of high school and early into my freshman year of college is when I started to kind of get back into uploading the stuff I was making. And again, I viewed it just as a way, I'm very introverted. I didn't have a lot of friends going into college. I still don't think I had a lot of friends in college in general because I just kind of tucked myself away, but it was just a way for me to pass the time. I'd get back to my dorm. I lived in a single dorm, and you know, after class, what some people go out and socialize, I gotta pass the time because I don't have anyone to hang out with. So I'm just gonna make some videos and I'm gonna upload them to YouTube just so they exist out there in the ether, sorry. And
Yeah.
you know so that's just it again. It all s- it's it, this the success part of it has all been an accident, but the the reason I started doing it was just a place for me to express myself. I think that wasn't that even like a YouTube express yourself. No, it was broadcast yourself, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm that used to be their slogan. But yeah, it's just a way for me to creatively express myself. I still think it is to this day. And that's just it was a good creative outlet for me to get out all that energy and all those ideas that I had floating around my head and put them out in
Yeah.
the world. And if one or two people saw them, hey, that was more people that would have saw it than if I hadn't posted it. So I
Yeah.
consider that a success.
Yeah. All right, next question is what was your hardest video to make? Well, to this. day, I guess.
Yeah. So it's between two. Um, it would be between Bohemian Rhapsody, which I made back in 2017, and the 100th cover. Now, Bohemian Rhapsody was difficult just because a couple of factors. One, like I mentioned, I was working a normal job during the day. I was working from 11 to 7 every day, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. or something like
Yeah.
that. And so I didn't have much time at home. I'd get home at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, maybe film for an hour and then get off to bed. Uh, so I didn't have much time to work on it. So it ended up taking me 3 months to make that video just because I was, only working on it for so little time every day. So that was the reason it was a long process. It was also difficult because I was using Final Cut Pro on my MacBook, and it was a heavy editing intensive video, like lots of green screen layers, and
Dang.
Final Cut was like really not having it. They was really not loving all the work I was throwing at it. So that made it difficult. If I made Bohemian Rhapsody again today, which I do not plan on doing, I could probably get it done in 2 weeks. It wouldn't be that terrible.
Yeah.
The 100th cover, I think, yeah, thinking back, the 100th cover was definitely the hardest one. It definitely took the greatest toll on my mental health because I was
Oh, dang.
living and breathing that video every day for a little over 4 weeks, I think. Right around, it was like November into and overlapping with Christmas. I mean, I was working on the video Christmas morning and Christmas evening,
Oh,
uh,
wow.
trying to get it done in time, and it was rough. It was a really rough video to make. Again, I'm happy with how it turned out. But I also never want to do that again. People are asking like, if you get to 200 Otamatone covers, what are you gonna do for 200th? I'm like, I do not know, but not that because oh my god, that was awful. That was an awful experience. I think there's a behind the scenes video on my second channel
Oh,
about that,
nice.
and you can kind of like see, I'm sure I start off the video very excited, like, here we go, the 100th cover. And by the end of it, I'm like, you know, I don't really want to do YouTube anymore. Because I was just like so broken down by the end of it. So that was definitely the hardest one to make, both on like an editing level and just a pure workload. I was
Oh, yeah.
basically, it was, I was making 100 small videos because I had to recreate the original video of each of the 100th covers, in small segments. I mean, I was working on 100 videos
Yeah.
over this 4 week period, and it was rough.
Dang, yeah. It I do think it paid off though. So,
I like to think so, because I can look back now, being like 2 years separated from it or whatever, and like it's a good video. I'm happy with how it turned out, but
yeah.
dear Lord, I was not a happy person during that 4 week period. What a way to spend Christmas, On my
Uh,
birthday and Christmas, I'm just working and slaving over this video that I'm just like, I hate this so much.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you'll have things like that where it's like, I know it's gonna be really nice to finish this, but like, I really don't want to be doing this right now.
Oh yeah, once you're finished with it, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just like go into a coma for a few days, just like
Yeah.
disassociate completely because I need time off. And then I immediately started making videos like 3 days later because I'm a workaholic.
Yep. Yep. That's kind of how things go, I guess. That.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better. It really do be like that sometimes.
Sully G, 2022. It do be like that sometimes.
Yes. Yes. All right. All right. Yeah. Next question is I don't know why I thought of this question, but I feel like it kind of is a question that's good to ask. What inspired the creation of the Soleil channel?
Um, really, for those who don't know, which I don't expect people to know, I do have a new channel, a fairly new channel, just called Sully, and it is basically a dumping ground for any other video I want to make that has nothing to do with Otamatones. Um, I've been doing Otamatone content. I've been living and breathing Otamatone content for like what, 6 years now, every day of my life. Not a day has gone by that I haven't seen an automaton or thought about an automaton or done something, like that has been my life, and it gets
Mm,
old.
yeah,
You're known online as the automaton guy, and you just need to keep pumping out automaton content, and that if you stop for any amount of time, your channel's gonna die. Like you
yeah,
gotta keep it going, gotta keep making funny automaton content, and then some videos do well and some videos don't do well, and some people love the automaton, some people on Twitter hate the automaton and think you're ruining things. It's just like I have so many other things I'd love to make, but I've tried posting non-automaton videos or less related automaton videos on the real Sully G channel, and they don't do well, and in fact they lose me subscribers. People
oh wow,
unsubscribe because they're like, this isn't what I subscribed for, and that's fair. That's not what they subscribed for, so they're like, if this is what the channel's turning into, I don't want to be a part of it. And
yeah,
so the happy medium was like, I want to create this new channel where anyone who subscribes, even if I only get 100 subscribers, everyone who subscribes is subscribing because they're interested in the content that I am making. They're not subscribing because, oh, it's an automaton, or oh, it's this, or it's that. They're subscribing because they're like, I like this person as a creator, and I want to see what they have to do, what they want, what they make. And so, really, the Sully channel is just a place for me to express myself in ways that isn't automatones. Now, that's not to say like the automaton channel's going away. The automaton channel is my main source of income, so that is not
yeah,
going anywhere. I will still make automaton content, but I can also not drive myself insane because I can also like
yeah,
on the side like I'm kind of writing a treatment for a video right now. It's like I'm passionate about animatronics and the Rockafire explosion from Showbiz Pizza. I'm like I want to make a video about that. It wouldn't fit on the Real Sully G channel. People wouldn't like it on the Real Sully G channel,
yeah,
but it's perfect for the Sully channel because the Sully channel I can upload whatever the heck I want. If people don't like it, unsubscribe. I'm doing whatever I feel like doing on that channel just as a way to keep myself sane, a way for me to get these crazy ideas out of my head and put them onto paper and put them on the screen and just do things that make me happy. Like,
yeah,
I've my past couple videos on this Sully channel have done terribly. They are not doing well. They are not performing well. But making them makes me happy.
yes,
And
yeah,
so I'm going to continue to do that. The algorithm doesn't like it. People, the people who watch it seem to like it, but it's not reaching a wide vast audience, but it makes me happy.
All right, and the final question that I wanted to ask, I want to save the best for last.
Oh god.
So something that I feel like would be fun to answer if you know the answer. What is the weirdest YouTube comment you've ever gotten?
Hmm. All right, so there are two that come to mind. Um I'll say the first one because the second one's not technically a YouTube comment. Um so when I hit 1 million subscribers, I did this big 1 million subscriber special where I did a concert special live from my parents' basement. And at the end of the concert special, I talk openly and candidly about how I was battling severe depression at the time, and I was kind of, I'm only known as the Otamatone guy, and I've been like, really struggling with how that is the only thing I'm known for. And,
Yeah,
just kind of trying to have an open talk about that. And a lot of people were very supportive. One comment linked to that timestamp and said, "Can we talk about how hot he was when he was talking about how depressed he
what?
was?"
No.
And I'm like,
What?
what? I mean, it wasn't offensive to me. I was just like, what?
I mean,
Like I'm like basically saying I'll be like I'm not really I really don't want to live anymore, and this girl's like, that's so hot. I'm like, what are you talking about? I
oh my
am
gosh.
what? So that was weird. And like I'm not offended by it or anything
Yeah,
because it's not like I was like, how dare you say that? It's just one of those like I had to laugh because I'm like, that is so absurd.
yeah,
Um The other
Mm.
one, the first one that came to mind, it was not a comment. It was a DM I got. I believe it was Discord. It might have been Instagram. I forget. Um, I got a random DM from this person once. They said, "Just wanted to say I really, really love your short fingernails."
What?
And I mean, like, obviously, I cut my nails short. That's just a habit I've had, I guess, for my entire life. And because my hands are featured on camera so much with the Otamatones, I guess it's noticeable if you're looking for it. But if you're not looking for it, I guess it's not. Anyway, I didn't respond to that comment, of course, because how does one even respond to something like that?
Yeah.
Um, Not even like a month later, they sent another one.
Well,
Just saw your new video. Still really loving your fingernails. I'm like,
well,
stop, please. For the love of all that is holy. I don't think they've contacted me since. I think it's been over a year now since they last complimented me on my fingernails. So
that's good.
either they've grown out of it or my fingernails are no longer appealing to them. In which case, if they are listening to this interview, I apologize. Please tell me what I need to do to get back in your good graces. Um, so those are the only two that really stick out as as weird comments. For
Yeah.
the most part, the comments are just about Otamatones and joking about Otamatones. So they don't, if they're weird, they're weird in like a meme sense. They're funny.
Yeah.
But those are the two that I can think of that are just like basically make me reconsider my life choices that led me to this point. I'm like, you know what? I went to college and I went to college for 4 years and now I'm sitting here reading a DM about my fingernails. I what led me to this point?
Uh,
So, yep, that's YouTube for you. You're gonna get some weird comments out there.
you
Uh,
should put that on a
so
shirt. Um,
so shout out to those people who left those weird comments.
but yeah, that's the questions I wrote down and stuff. Couldn't really think of any more. I mean, I
Hey,
guess.
I think we covered a lot,
Yeah.
mostly because I talk and go on tangents. So I think we covered way more than we expected to cover. But I
Yeah.
I I think we covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's always a good thing. So, yeah, like, yeah, just thank you for joining me. Thank you for being available and willing and stuff. Because,
Absolutely. I don't do interviews much or ever, so it's fun to talk about myself and just indulge in how awesome I am. No, I'm kidding. It was fun doing this. And what's your channel's name?
it's the same as my Discord username, Syburr. So Syburr.
Because I wanted to hear it out loud so I could say, "Hey everyone, this is the real Sully G. Wah! Go subscribe to Syburr. Click subscribe right now. The channel you're watching this video on. There should be a red button. I think it's red. I don't know. YouTube changes a lot. Subscribe. Click the subscribe button and the bell. You gotta hit that bell to get notifications on if you want more." The real Sully G content because he has promised me that this channel is now dedicated to me and the content will now just revolve around the real Sully G. So if that interests you, click subscribe right now.
Yeah, and my next video will be a compilation of Sully's feet pics. So make sure to tune
No.
in.
Oh God.
But yeah, anyways, but yeah, do the subscribe, not the unsubscribe, like
Yeah, do the
he said.
subscribe or yeah, I'm not the boss of you, but you should. You should subscribe, but
Yes.
I'm not your mom.
Yeah, and same thing applies to Sully. I heard that he has a pretty really nice subscribe button. It makes a nice noise when you press it. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's at least what my mom tells me. She says I have a nice subscribe button.
yeah. I heard it makes a an Among Us wah automaton sound effect when you press it. So I don't know if that's true. Just press it and tell
I
me.
I I
I'm
can I can
curious.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, we gotta have your help, guys. So like, just do the thing, and then we'll find out. Let me know in the comments if it
Yeah,
does the
let
thing.
us know in the comments if it worked.
Yeah, but yeah, That's a wrap. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. Typical outro words. Subscribe, like, comment, share. I don't know what else they say, but I think I covered
Yeah,
most of my
I
bases.
think he covered the basics. I think they get the point.
Yeah, but yeah, those things, do them if you want. I don't know. I'm not forcing you, but yeah.
I
Um,
am. Do it now.
oh no. But yeah, thank you for watching and stuff. Sully, once again, thank you for joining me. That was pretty
Oh,
pro gamer of
thanks for
me.
having me.
Oh yeah, of course, thanks. And
Well,
yeah,
same time again next week.
yeah. This is gonna be a daily scheduled thing. The Sully speeches.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
just talk about my day. You know what I had for breakfast. It'll be fascinating. Trust me. You're gonna want to subscribe.
oh yeah, it's gonna be very fire. It's gonna be very, I don't know. It's gonna be very musical. Hopefully, maybe.
Maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all in probably not my next interview. Maybe you will, I don't know. But yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later. See ya.
Bye.